This one exercise is so powerful that when I shared it with my friends and family, they immediately started texting me their answers. And today you're going to come up with your very own answers. Why? Because this is the key to getting the care you actually want if it ever comes to the point where you need it. And stick around because at the end, I'm going to share with you how you can take this exercise and start using it right now with your loved one who has dementia. Let's do this. Recently, I was in Lake Havasu, Arizona, and I was leading a full day dementia training. I actually travel quite a bit training caregivers and organizations across the country on best dementia care practices. But during this particular full day training, during one of the breaks, the event organizer did something that stopped me in my tracks. She walked up to the room, held up a sticky note, and said, "I like to wear socks, but not while I'm sleeping." Then she asked, "What about you? Imagine that you have dementia and you can't communicate. What would you want your caregivers to know?" People started writing their answer, and we had a wall filling up with all of the sticky notes. They wrote down things like, "Turn on the fan when I'm sleeping. I like ice in my drinks. Pluck my chin hairs." And there was one that really stood out to me, and it said, "Always put on my shower shoes before I get in the shower. I hate the feel of bare feet on wet tile." Now think about that. If this person ever developed dementia and needed help bathing, do you think that they'd accept help easily with bathing and showering if the caregiver didn't know that they hated the feel of bare feet on wet tile? Probably not. And yet, this is why so many dementia challenges happen. We think the issue is just a behavior we need to change, but many times it could be a preference that's not being met. And without really thinking through and being curious about what are all the possible reasons somebody might be showing this behavior, even reasons as specific and maybe unique as wearing shower shoes, many of us resort to generic tips and tricks and get frustrated that none of them are working. I loved that example. So here are my three things. The things that I would want my caregivers to know if I ever developed dementia or any condition that needed care and I wasn't able to express my preferences. Number one, always find a way to keep a dog in my life somehow. Number two, do not wake me up for breakfast. I am not a breakfast fan. Let me sleep in. But when I get up, please let me have good coffee. And number three, play some good upbeat music and dance with me. Okay, now it's your turn. What are your three things? Leave them in the comments below. I definitely want to read them. Now, here's the twist. What do you think would be on your loved one's list? If they can still communicate with you and have a conversation, ask them today. And if not, what do you think would be on their list? What are some things that maybe we haven't considered? And can we start incorporating those things into their life now? Careblazer, we spend so much time talking about the importance of planning things like our wills and healthcare decisions and who's going to be our power of attorney. But what about the actual care experience? What about the little things that are really the big things that help make life more comfortable? We don't really talk about that hardly ever at all. So here's what I want you to do next. Drop your three things in the comments below. Write them down somewhere where your family can find them. And ideally, it's going to be more than three things. I know I have preferences that go beyond three things. So write them down, share them with your family, whether it's a Google Doc or a printed out piece of paper, or even a handwritten piece of paper in your healthcare binder. And if you have a loved one with dementia, start thinking about what's on their list. And hey, if you love learning about ways to make dementia care easier, more enjoyable for both you and your loved one with dementia, then make sure you're signed up to receive our weekly Dementia Dose newsletter. It's totally free, and I send out exclusive tips and strategies every single week straight to your inbox. There's a link below this video where you can sign up, or you can go to our website, www.careblazers.com. Okay, Careblazer, thank you so much for what you're doing. I will be back next week with a brand new video. I'm sending you so much love. Also, Nico
gets a belly rub for every person who subscribes from this video. So if you haven't already, click the red subscribe button. It's totally free, and Nico says thank you very much.